Hey guys, welcome to the last week's special podcast. Once again, I'm Austin, and we have Jed
Hey.
and Con,
This is Con.
and we're gonna ramble about crap that's crap for the next hour or so. So
So crap.
Tune in, and put your seatbelts on, 'cause I'm falling asleep already.
Do we gotta tune in?
What?
I said to tune in. Isn't that just for rabbit ears?
Rabbit
To get
ears.
over the air signal.
What?
The phrase tune in, you tell them to tune in.
I mean, like an antenna, like rabbit ears, right?
Right.
Turn
No
the
one told
dial.
me we were transmitting.
Turn the dial, click. Then there needs to be a new phrase for that, actually. Like,
We're on UHF.
Yeah. I was like, that's
tune
what I was
in,
criticizing.
it was tune in, turn the dial, and now it needs to be like, click the link, or click the play button, or click that button, something like that.
Enable
Give
your
us the
internet.
Facebook thumbs up hashtag.
Enable that internet.
Hashtag internet.
Get those Ethernet cables plugged in.
Internet
those-
radio.
Plug in those Ethernets.
Subscribe
Enable
to
Radio
your
Live.
4G.
it. Load up YouTunes. Fucking YouTunes.
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 Oh no.
I don't know why. It's in iTunes.
The podcast was moving from the beginning.
Yeah, someone asked us if we had our podcast on iTunes, and I said, do we look like some people who would do that?
Have the money. Because I don't know what it costs, but I assume it costs money. Just can't put whatever
I
you
don't know
want
if it
on
does
there.
cost money. I don't know.
Nah, I can't. Then again, everyone would have shit on it.
I think it's a big
Yeah.
deal. If you want the audio version, you can literally just copy the link of the YouTube video and paste it in keepvid.com or whatever and save it as an MP3 file.
Or paste the same thing in and just delete UBE in YouTube. Press enter.
Oh yeah, that's right. You told me about that.
It's
That's
very cool.
pretty handy. Yeah.
You can download as a video or MP3. It's so good. That's how I download stuff.
It's
Well, if I download stuff.
shoplifter.
You're a shoplifter.
It's free anyway. It's not shoplifting. Free content on the internet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure. I was sitting there thinking, like, well, there's ads on YouTube probably has.
Yeah, that everybody has disabled with that block.
Yeah.
Alright, Jed. Gotta download Rainbow Six Siege then.
Okay.
Jed opted to download Batman instead of Rainbow Six. Spending
Batman!
his time at Cody.
Their internet is great, though. Batman, it took 50 gigs, took like 45 minutes.
Holy freaking crap!
Nice.
Man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Have you thought of going to live
Man.
over there?
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, there are days. I'm like looking at the house. I'm like, I bet I could put a mattress right under the foundation here. They would never know.
Never.
Just keep out at night. Just never. They would never know. Leech off of them. Tell Kath I'm going to work. And then really I go over there and sneak under the house and play games like some kind of mole man.
Crawl space he built some.
Yeah.
I'm good here.
That's not weird, is it?
Nah, it's fine.
Home.
You might need to make your own
Some
dialect.
kids like, I think I hear something shine light under the house. Like, hiss at him, crawl away.
Will be a new urban myth starts up because of you.
Yep, I was gonna say, they'll start making stories and
Mole man under your
Oh.
house. Oh, that's terrifying.
if your internet starts slowing down, you might have the mole man.
He's an artist representation of him. Yeah.
Yeah. Just me shirtless.
It's a hobo
Untrimmed. Unattractive.
son. Big snaggle teeth.
Uh,
Everything
my
gets
neck beard.
It all just gets exaggerated. You can be like just slightly unshaven, and in the pictures like this big beard down to your ankles. I'm scared, Mum.
Like one of those stereotype fat Japanese figure collectors.
Make sure your
What do
Wi-Fi
they call
password
those?
is tricky, otherwise the mole man might guess it and stay under your house.
The mole man. He's living on your house. He's attracted to unprotected Wi-Fi.
Oh, I better change
Like how you
mine.
can't leave crumbs on the floor or else you'll get ants.
Yep.
You can't leave your Wi-Fi unprotected or you'll get the mole man.
He has the ability to appear from house to house in an instant. Be scared.
I have a series of tunnels. I just dig to one house to the other.
There'll be people getting paranoid now and buying those, machines that can scan underground just to make sure there's no tunnels. I've seen those on TV. They're cool. I want one.
What do they use those for? Like to find
Like old structures.
sinkholes and stuff?
Oh, I guess they do sinkholes.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's mainly for.
That's what I'd use it for.
Yeah, it's usually for archaeological type stuff.
Oh, okay.
I've seen it on the.
It's like every other day. Go ahead.
I watched it on the documentary channels when they're looking for like old, like thousands of year old type houses or stuff like that. The foundations.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Very cool. Very cool, brah.
Oh, it's also very good for, if you're going to do any digging, find out where your pipes are. Found it. Too late.
Oh, falling through. Bye.
Yeah, my dad did that once.
Your dad fell through a pipe?
No, he cut through our pipe.
Like Mario?
He was digging or some shit. And he goes, oh, I thought the pipe was over there, but guess not. And like, just say you screwed up. I don't need no story.
Must have relocated it when the city ran the internet. Oh well.
2 days ago, I got the cable box outside in the living room changed. The remotes are identical, except for a couple extra buttons at the top for the new one. Buttons that don't even need to be understood. But everything else, like the channel button, the number buttons, they're all identical. Placement, look, everything. My parents couldn't understand how to use the remote. I'm like, Dad, it's the same thing. He goes, it's different. And I put both remotes together. I was like, look at them. They're the same. He's like, yeah. I go, you'll be okay. And I walked off. He came in about half hour later, and he shows me the remote, and he goes, how do you change the channel? So I had to pause for a moment. I was like, don't snap. And I just pointed to where the channel button was. I was like, these ones, the same as the other one. And he goes, it's not working. From there, I would have lost it, but I was like, you know what? Just show me what you're doing. Went outside, and he presses the channel button once. And then he does this hand gesture at the TV because there's this big message like you don't have this channel or whatever, but obviously he's not reading it because it's just a message. And he just, gestures at it like, see, told you. And I'm like, Dad, what is that channel? He goes, I don't know. Like, just look at the fucking, and I'm pointing at the symbol like, that's the Italian channel. He goes, yep, we've never had the Italian channel. That's why that message is there. You want the channels we do have? Keep pressing the button like usual. He's like, oh. Walked off. It's like, I can't do it anymore.
I had to show my dad how to turn a YouTube video volume up today. How do you turn it up? How do you turn it up? He just kept yelling.
Like it's Google.
It's like,
Google, turn it up.
We'll
Google.
turn you down first.
Yeah.
Then we'll turn this up.
At work, we have an application that requires you to open a web browser first, and then you double-click this hot link because the application is actually built as HTML.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a web app, is what it is. And you've always had to open it through the web link. There's no other way. You can't go to a web page without opening up the browser, right? So you have to open up your browser, go to this web link. Same concept. So I get a call from an office. I knew immediately when I got this call that this was going to be good because it's this one office, and without discriminating, they always have women in their late 50s working in this office who have no idea how to use a computer. Basically, on their first day in the office, someone else came in and set them up, so they haven't had to do anything. All their folders ever they needed was already made. So to them, when something's off, they can't explain it because they don't know what a folder is. They just think it's a thing. You click it, and then inside's the other thing. That's how they describe stuff.
Sounds normal.
So they call me up and goes, "Hey, I can't get into I don't know if I'm allowed to say what the app is or not. So
Use a special name.
Yeah. I can't get into David. All right."
You saucy wench.
Yeah. I'm like, what do you mean you can't? Like, when you try, does it give you an error? Or is it like, I don't know. I just can't. It used to be here, and now it's not, and I can't get into it. And I had to take a deep breath. I'll be right over. And then I hang up. I pull away from the desk, and I'm just like, I'm going to take my time. It's not worth rushing over there. So you get up, maybe I'll have some coffee first, make a little coffee.
You're the worst.
Let me get off camera, walk off camera, scratch myself, and then I come back. So then I go over there, I meet her, and I go, all right, what's the matter? She points at her screen. She points at a folder. When you save a report using this web application, you can save it just like anything on your desktop or in a special folder that you created, or anything like that. The folder she's pointing to was the special folder they made for when she wanted to save a report. This is where it would go. It's not the application, it's just the stuff that she saves. This is where they are. So she points at it and goes, see this. I click on this and the application doesn't open. Now, she doesn't use application. She describes David. David won't open. And I go, that's just a folder, right? And she's like, I don't know. So I double click it. Sure enough, there's nothing in there but a single Excel file. I go, and I look at the name of that folder. It says David Receiving, which means when we receive product, this is where the reports would be saved. So I'm like, this is just the document of your saved reports. Are you saying you can't access these files, or you can't access David itself? She's like, I don't know what that means. Okay, so then I sign into her machine. I system link to the shared folders that we have on our server, and I pull up David. And she's like, what's this? I go, this is David. This is what you would use to save these reports. She's like, I've never opened it that way. I'm like, that's impossible. You always have to open the web browser to open David. That's how I was like, no, I've never done it that way. I have always just opened this folder. Like, I don't know. And she's like, it looks different. Why is it different? It's not different. It's David. This is what you've always used. She's like, no, I've never been here. Why does it look different? And I go, I don't know. I'd have to go into the past and figure out when you didn't take your medicine. Like, so just open it this way. And then I just step out. It's one of those situations where you have to try so hard not to sound condescending, because to these ladies, they literally are frustrated because they just don't understand. They've never been shown. They don't have any training in any of this other than when you get a product, click point A, save it to point B, print to point C. That's all they know. So if you ask them, can you describe to me the problem? They can't. They don't know the terms. They don't know the words. They don't know folders. They don't know right clicks, nothing. So you have to really, really try hard. But when then they're getting snippy at you, going, this is how I've always done, I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't watch you work, but I know you're wrong. You just can't say that stuff, so you just got to be so patient. But you walk out of there like, oh my gosh, it would take nothing to sabotage these ladies. Nothing at all. Unplug one mouse, this whole office would be on fire as they're trying to figure it out. Oh,
Devolves.
it is. It is. It's aggravating at
Yeah.
times.
No, I mean, I've been
I'm like,
through that when I was doing tech support. It's always the same way.
mm-hmm.
It's frightening. My
It
computer's
is.
not working. Find out the monitor's turned off. Like, why is your
Yes.
monitor even off? They never turn off.
Oh.
I don't know. What's a monitor? Goodbye.
Oh, I had one just the day before. Same office, different shift, but exact same example. So, fresh faces, but same category of women. And go in. She's like, "Hey, I need you to come in here and look at David." I go, "What's wrong?" It's like, "Yeah, I don't know. It just looks different." I go, "Well, this isn't really a problem, but I guess I'll go over." I go over. You know how if you have multiple windows open,
Mm.
whatever window is in the foreground, that's the one that generally is highlighted. So, it'll have the full color, and
Mm.
then sometimes the ones in the background would be grayed.
Yep.
That's how David works. She's never seen it before in the foreground that it had full color, or at least her brain never thought she's seen it before. So she's like, "What's this?" And she points right at the title of that window, and of course it's got the blue bar saying like, "I'm in the foreground, so I'm the one that you can use." It's like, "What's this?" He keeps pointing at the color. I go, "That just means it's in the foreground. That's the one window you're going to use." She's like, "Oh." I'm like, "I can't believe I had to come over here for this." Silly things like that.
Meanwhile, I'm the one without a job. But anyway, let's not go there.
just stuff like that. I just wish there was basic training, just a little bit, not a lot. I'm not saying I have to learn to be an engineer, but just a little basic training, entry level college
Yeah.
course of here's a folder, this is the mouse, this is the keyboard. Oh, another thing, had to go over just the week before because the lady's like, "My mouse isn't working."
Mm.
I go like, "Do I need to bring one? Like a replacement mouse?" Because sometimes they just die. No one knows why. And I'm like, "Could you check your USB ports and tell me if it's plugged in? Because maybe it just came loose." She's like, "What's that look like?" I go, "Well, this is going to be much harder to explain on
Oh,
the phone
jeez.
than it would be to just go over."
I'll be right
And I'm
over.
not saying like it's a couple of feet. Like, no, I got to walk across the whole building to these people.
Well, she's giving you some exercise, so you're good.
I guess, because I got nothing else to do.
Heaven forbid.
So I I go over there. It's like, "Look, it's not working." And she's just clicking. She's just furiously clicking. Like, I can't get it to do anything. She's got a wireless mouse.
Oh, jeez.
So I
Battery.
turn it over. I see it powered on. I take off the back and I see it's got a battery. I'm like, "Is there any by chance this battery's just dead?" It's like, "Oh, I didn't even know it did. Oh, I thought it had a cord." I'm like, It's obvious it's a wireless. It's obvious." So I'm like, "Yes." So I'm like, if you had just mentioned it, just said, "Hey, my mouse is dead. It's wireless. Maybe the battery." I could have brought you a battery, but now I got to walk back to my office and get some double A's. Come back, and that's all it was. It was just dead.
Some
Just-
things should be obvious.
Just you think, right?
There's a cable. No. Show me this cable.
It's like they just never noticed the whole time. They just
Aw.
did not ever notice it was wireless. Like, did it even feel a little different? The first day you picked it up, did it feel different at all?
What? The pointer. It works. Okay. We'll leave you be. Please don't call me again.
I wish I could say that. But not how that works.
So what is your main job then, Jed? Like, what do you do?
There's a server look after a person, aren't you?
I am, yeah, technical coordinator for logistics.
I liked my
So
description
my
better.
job is I come in. You could say, or they call it TC. So, or systems operator, but it's really just T. I go in, and for the first few hours, my job is to create reports for the managers that show our warehouse outs, our warehouse orders, our warehouse costs, etc. And then after that, home office sends their orders to us. And my job from there is to verify the orders, separate those orders, and put them on proper days, proper stores, check that inventory. And then during that whole process, I'm also tech support. So if someone calls me and says, "Hey, my account's not in Outlook," then I'd have to, get their account to their Outlook, stuff like that. And I basically do that all day.
Fun.
Yes, very fun. Very fun. It's not bad. Most of the times it's quiet. But when that office calls me, I always know I'm in for something fun.
Well, you do have the night shift, so.
Yeah, I do have the night shift.
Oh, yeah.
Quiet.
But I don't. In that particular case, those girls, they're there all day, different shifts. So it's always entertaining when you get the call. It's just new faces, same problems. Like, here's a good example of sabotage. We use Excel all the time at work. These ladies, they don't know what a shared folder is. Now, an example, like how I'm going to describe it to you guys, imagine Dropbox, okay? And inside Dropbox was a folder. And each of us were saving the same document in Dropbox. So Austin would open up the Excel file. He would enter in what information he wanted. He'd close it. And then I could open up that same Excel file, add to that information, close it. That kind of stuff. So we're all adding to the same file. That would be a shared drive.
Yep.
The ladies, what they did, and I don't know how, but one of them thought what they were doing was adding to a shared drive. Instead, they were saving that file to their desktop and then adding their information in and closing it, and then they would open it back up. And then the other lady was doing it on the shared folder, on the shared drive. And the third was saving it to her documents on a different shared drive. And so they call me up and go, "We got a big problem. There's a major problem." I go, "What's going on?" It's like, "Nothing that we're entering is saving." I go, "Well, that is the most vague description. That sounds horrible."
Show me.
Like, can you give me? I go over there and I find out after like 30 minutes of troubleshooting. Like, you open up your file, show me what you're doing, and I'm reading the pathway, directory up at the top. I go, and then what are you doing? And then after I figured the problem out, they're like, "What happened?" I go, "That would take another 30 minutes to explain. So what I'm just going to do is say, everybody save from here. Do it from here like you're supposed to. And let's just call that a day." But a fiasco like that, it took like an hour to do because so many people were making the same mistake.
That sounds like a mess.
And they don't know.
Yeah, you should do. Just
and the reason it is because,
you should create a shortcut to that file on their desktop. That way, it's easier for them. They won't have to open folders.
Well, that's what I had to do in the end.
Yep.
Yeah. And the reason why I had to is because they actually had shortcuts, but they made them themselves. And so they made incorrect shortcuts.
They made a copy.
Shared that shortcut with other people. Yeah. So instead of creating the shortcut, they made copies, and they thought that's what it was. I'm like, "Well, no, you can tell it's a shortcut because it'll have an arrow in that corner. That's the shortcut." Oh, and you're like, that's the first time they've ever heard the term. And like, they're just like, "Oh," like, "Oh," I'm like, I wonder how many more months of paperwork is ruined that they're gonna find out about later. How about you guys? What's new with you?
I got my light.
Oh, yeah?
Yes?
I mean, you remember a while back, I changed my horrible light to this new light because there wasn't enough room in my room. Where was I even going with that? There wasn't enough light in my room. So, it was this, a fluoro light thing, and I was like, yes, finally I have light. There was a lot more light, but it was a brutal light. Like, it was really potent. It gave off a power, but it didn't give off light compared to... If you look at something and it hurts, you'd expect it to be bright. No, this was like a condensed, fixed area of pain. But the rest of my room was dark, so things like cameras and stuff wouldn't work that well. So I always wanted to get it replaced, and I finally did with this one. When I went to the store, you know how they always have the lights all on display, turned on so you can see what they look like. They were all, activated, and I'm looking at them going, this one looks decent. How about this? She's like, blah, 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 etc. And I said, it doesn't look like it's that strong. Would it be, strong enough for my room? She goes, for that sort of room? Yeah, that's more than you'd need. I wonder if this is just shop talk. But so I bought it anyway because it was really my only option. And I took it home, installed it, and it's completely different. You turn that light on, it's like activating the sun in your room. I can't even look at it directly without it hurting after a bit, unlike in the store. So I'm thinking maybe they must have had like a regulator or something set to their lights. So when they turn on the whole thing, there's not like this big solar flare when the shop is turned on. So everything's at like half power or some bullshit. That's all I can think.
That'd be very difficult to do.
Not really.
Well, a lot of those are fluorescent bulbs, and you have to run them at their
but that's
factory
the thing.
wattage.
I don't know if they even work with a regulator, but it's the only thing that works in my head. Why would it not be so powerful?
I think maybe either they were using an off-brand bulb, or maybe because it was next to so many other lights that you were adjusted to looking at so much bright.
The one I've
brightness.
got is LEDs. So, yeah, you can't change the bulbs in these lights. They're created to last like 10, 15 years, and then you replace the entire thing. So, yeah, new system, whatevs. As long as I don't have to worry about it for at least a decade, I'm fine. So, because the other one was there for, I don't know. But anyway, so that was my new hurdle. How do I go into my room without crying? And because it's on my right side, my right eye is a little sore because of the constant glare for like almost a week. And during that time, I was already, my brain's working. How do I make it better? How do I improve it? How do I not lose my eyesight? And my parents, when you turn the light on, if you're outside in the hallway, it lights up the hallway. It's that freakish. I've never seen anything that pure, bright, fucking heavenly light. That's what it was like. And my parents couldn't understand. They're like, what? It lights up everything. It's perfect. I'm like, no, it's too strong. They go, we don't understand what you're talking about. I don't understand. And in the end, I had to get my mum. I was like, look, come here. Stand there. Right there where I sit. She's like, why do you want to? I was like, just do it. I was frustrated. She goes, stands. I'm like, look at the light now. She looks up and instantly looks away. It was that strong. She's like, oh my God, why did you get a light this strong? I was like, okay, now that you understand that it's strong, instead of trying to make me out to be stupid, that's the only thing I could get. So my ingenious plan was create like a drape or a curtain type thing to put in front of it. My mum could not understand this. She's like, why do you want to hide the light? Like, it's not hiding. It's just, limiting how much it comes out. She goes, why do you want to hide it? I'm like, no, look, you go over there. Let me worry about this. And I went to the store. I got this
Like, I don't know.
I got this thin stick, which I'm going to use as a curtain type, thing.
You're going to hit your mom with it?
Whip it good. And my dad, he's like, what do you want to do with that? And I'm like, I'm going to put the curtain thing on it. I'm going to have these two little, like metal things coming out of the wall so I can put the curtain thing on top. And he was like, all right, so we'll buy the curtain thing and we'll nail it in and we'll drill it. I'm like, no, I don't want to put holes through the wall. I'm going to get this double-sided stick thing. And, they're perfect. He goes, that's not strong enough. Like, just leave it to me. So I got these cool little hook things. They come out some. Got the double thing, stuck it to the wall. It's been stuck there for like 4 days straight, which means it'll be there forever. Because that's how they work. And I got this material from the store. It was like, 2 meters long because they cut it in Anyway, I got it long because I figure the longer it is, the more I have to screw up with, because I'm not a seamstress. And so I cut out this long rectangular.
Don't say.
I got this rectangular thing that only just covers it up, with a bit more on the bottom, and I put it on, held it to the stick, and I'm like, Mum, do you understand what I'm trying to do now? She goes, no. I'm like, you know what? Do this for me. Stitch these sides, and then let it go. She's like, whatever. Stitches up the sides. I put the stick in, and I put it over, and I tell her, come here. She comes in and she looks, and I go, do you see now? The glare isn't there, but the light is still here. It's perfect. She goes, that looks good. Okay, now you understand what I was trying to do for like the last week. It's the best thing I've done.
I think the moral of this story is that Khan sees a problem, Khan tries to fix the problem, Khan has to explain for weeks that he's not insane, that he has this problem. Because I noticed you put just as much effort in solving your issues as explaining to people, I'm not crazy, these are real issues.
I need to figure out ways to actually show them. I can't say it, otherwise they don't understand. That's why I had my mum stand right in the middle of the room, and then she finally understood that it was maybe a little strong. Or the other time she stood at the doorway, she's like, what, looks fine. I don't know what you're talking about, a strange person. You got issues. What? But,
how about you, Austin?
No, I'm good.
He's been lost to the world with For Honor.
I went and had sushi today. Ooh.
Well, that's not news.
I saw that photo. Looked delicious.
Yeah.
I had sushi yesterday, so I one-upped ya.
Oh.
Don't feel bad, bro. We're all sushi bros. Except Jed. He's a bum. He doesn't know the refinements of sushi.
I should go to France and eat some snails or whatever else things are uncooked laying around, I guess.
No, snails are cooked. You've never had snails, have you?
You eat snails?
I've had them before.
No, I
Dude,
could
I'm in
say
the boat.
honestly I haven't.
I am in the boat. If it's edible, I'll eat it.
Mm. Actually, that's something
I'll try anything once. I'll try anything once.
No, there's a thing called durian.
Drink your pee. Do it once.
As long as it's not poisonous or harmful to my body, I'll try it once.
Don't do it with durian.
Drink your pee.
With what?
Me or him?
Yeah, what'd you say, Con?
Durian. It's like it's a big fruit thing, very large, like watermelon sized. Well, maybe a bit smaller, depends on the watermelon. But it's big. And when you open it, it's like the most foul thing you've ever smelled. Like it's actually banned in certain areas in Asia where the...
Smells that bad, I wouldn't try it.
But it's a delicacy, and people eat it.
You said it's edible.
Well, if people do eat it, then why not try it?
Well, that's the thing. It smells just as bad as it tastes. It's like the worst thing you could ever have. The first time you eat it...
if some people like it, maybe I would. I don't know.
There's videos of people trying it, if you're curious. You can see what they look like when they eat it. Their faces. Oh, my God. But... my friend eats it, and every time, the one time, it's been a long time since I've seen it, because I told him, I was like, if I ever come over again and I smell that, your house is banned for life, and it's the last time. But I went there, and he was trying to eat it, and while he's eating and telling me how good it is, his face, it looks like he's in pain.
Was it sour or tart or bitter?
I don't want to know what it tastes like. If your face contorts, like you're, possessed by a demon or something, you shouldn't be eating that.
Well, my face contorts when I eat, like, pickled stuff or, like, lemons, but I still like them.
Times that by 10, 100, 1,000.
I'm interested.
100,000. The number just keeps getting bigger.
It did. I thought, 10 was way too small, and then 100's not even close. I was like, billion. It is the worst thing you can eat, from what I've heard and seen. It can actually kill you too if it falls out of the tree.
Would you eat?
It's all
I
spiky.
mean, falls on your head.
No.
Yeah. It's like a big bomb.
Yeah. It's like a big smelly one. Everyone knows when one went off.
Just feel free, do a search on durian, and you'll see what it looks like, the pictures. And then look up a video of people eating it for the first time. How they don't die on the spot, I don't know.
Isn't it funny how stuff like that works? Somebody just, at one point, wandered across that fruit and went, it smells terrible.
I'm going to taste it.
It's obviously covered in spikes, which means it's got to be evil.
There's also the possibility that they were starving and they needed something to eat.
I think I would have just extra water that day. They're like, eat the smelly spike fruit. Put it in your belly. You won't die. Maybe.
I'll just eat leaves. Maybe grind some rocks.
I'm like, I don't need this arm. Ow, no.
Where's Ted? Bring Ted here. He's not needed anymore.
I can understand if you're starving. That's a different situation. But to have present day go as a delicacy, no, that is not.
And that thing that sticks to you as well.
You are misusing the term.
You wash your hands, it's still there.
It's like eating a skunk's anus.
You know what?
Some people regard the durian as having pleasantly sweet fragrance. Others find the aroma overpowering with an unpleasant odor.
They're the people with a proper working tongue and nose.
The ones who have not eaten it yet and are not burnt.
The smell evokes reactions from deep appreciation to intense disgust.
Yep.
I'm guessing you're on the disgust side. I don't know.
You could compare it to smoking. You know, smokers just love it. But if you're not a smoker, that thing's foul when you smell it, and it's strong as hell. But they don't know.
You know what? Actually, compare it more to like chewing tobacco.
Okay.
Those who chew tobacco claim it's got great flavor. You know, they buy it for the flavor. But for anyone else who like tries it for the first time, all they feel is a burning, vomiting sensation coming up their throat.
Yep. Maybe it's like, you know...
So it's an acquired taste, and it's... Yeah.
Breathing in a cup of synonym. Just... Oh, I love it!
Cinnamon.
Like,
I had cinnamon pretzel today, and it was good.
I wouldn't mind one.
Did you breathe it?
You gotta breathe it.
I had cinnamon toast.
Cinnamon anything's good.
Yeah, I prefer sugar.
Cinnamon apples.
We have cinnamon... I wish they created that word better, hey. Pisses me off.
You say it.
Synonym. See, I'm sure I'm saying it wrong.
Say it again. Synonym.
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 It's two N's and an M, isn't it? Or is it an N-M-M?
Synonym. Cinnamon. Wait a minute. You've got me screwed up now. I don't even know.
Synonym.
Is it synonym or cinnamon?
No, it's think like cinnamon.
Well, I don't.
Like hey mon, cinnamon.
It's too much.
You're just saying that because you're thinking of Apple Jacks, the commercials.
I don't get that. It's even more confusing now. I don't know.
Here in the U.S., we have a cereal called Apple Jacks. It's apple and cinnamon, and one of the mascots is a cinnamon stick, but he's Jamaican, so he goes, "I'm cinnamon."
I don't even remember.
Riding a skateboard.
Is this a recent thing or is it old?
Well,
what?
I think I saw the last commercial maybe 5 years ago, so I don't know if it still runs.
I don't even watch cable, so I wouldn't know.
But cinnamon. I can't get to my Apple Jacks.
How's it spelled? It's C-I-double-N?
Yeah. C-I-double-N. A-M.
I-M.
A-M-O-N.
Why does that
AM
sound
next
wrong?
PM.
Cinnamon.
I wonder if there's two ways of spelling it.
Cinnamon.
You know, like...
Cinnamon.
I will consult Google later.
But it could be one of those potato tomatoes kind of situations. Where you're from depends on how you say it.
I hate the English language so much.
It could use a little version 2.0.
It's
due time.
Delete. That's what it could use. I remember when I was 8, I argued with my English teacher in Greece that the way he was spelling autumn was wrong.
Autumn.
Yeah,
Ottoman.
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 Little did my
Ottoman.
8-year-old self know that is an
What?
N at the end.
Yeah.
And I'm stupid. But,
Autumn, because you just don't pronounce it.
yeah,
Streamline, simple,
stream it.
and it makes sense.
No fucking hidden
And
letters.
invent new words to replace words that have the same meanings.
Yep. Knife. N-I-F-E. Done. No K.
Right? You got
Yeah. It's really stupid. I have no
you
idea.
got read and read.
Like, who
Spelled the
comes up
same,
with the
but
silent
they're both different.
letters? Like, why are they there? Why are they silent? Who made that up? Why?
There's so many.
Most of it because a lot of English comes from Latin, or Italian, and
Latin.
in their alphabet it makes
Get
sense.
the
But then we
expert.
get over to English and we have to.
Get the expert
Well,
on
I've actually
grammar.
been reading on it.
He's a professor.
Yes.
Grammar professor.
I am wearing a plaid vest right now.
Professor Jed.
Sit down.
He's got the little hat thing. The square hat thing. Have you ever worn one of
The
those?
top hat?
No, the uni school club fucking... The square thing. They throw it in the air.
You just can't say a square hat. I'm gonna know what the.
It's the,
what you're
only, it's the only hat that's square. You lot have it at the schools.
Sounded like the hats they wear at graduations and
yeah,
stuff.
and then they flick the little tassel.
Where they got
onto
that
the
little
other
ribbon.
side. Tassel.
Yeah, I don't know what that is
It's
called.
a tassel. They're the exact same things that strippers
No,
put
the
on,
hat.
on
What's
the front
what's
of their
the hat called?
I don't know. Professor hat.
Yeah. I thought the students wear them, not the professors, because the professors don't graduate.
Well, they
every
use it
year.
on graduation, so I guess they're not students anymore, so they could be termed as beginning professors. I don't know the system. I just give it names.
You're blowing my mind here. You're blowing my mind. Apparently, a unboxing video for the Nintendo Switch came out, and it kind of reminded me. Oh yeah, unboxing's apparently still a thing.
I heard a distribution employee distributing the Switch stole a system, and he like leaked all like the menu of the game, the system, and all that. He got fired immediately.
Well, of course, but it's not that far till it launches, is it?
I
Is it
know.
March?
Like, why risk your job for that? It's like
Alright.
2 weeks away.
Well, he probably hated his job anyway.
Yeah,
Like, I don't care if this fires me.
I think he just wanted attention.
probably.
I'm so cool. Look, I got it before everyone else. Yeah, I got no job. My friend bought a Switch. He's not even a Nintendo fan. He bought it because he just got a job recently, and he's one of those people who can't not buy stuff. He's always buying.
Yeah.
So the freaking same week he gets his job, boom, he's bought a Switch, and we're like, why'd you buy that? He goes, it looks cool. I'm like, you don't like anything that goes on. All you play is Gears of War and Halo. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, well, enjoy your system. I'm done with you. Cool system and all, but don't buy it if it's not something he didn't. He had the Wii and never used it.
Yeah. Everybody had the frickin' Wii.
Yeah. To be fair, I'd hardly use mine to begin with, but that's Nintendo's fault, not mine.
I'm just curious on when everybody gets their Switches, how big of a system update it's going to have, if it's going to be like what the Wii U went through.
Well, I hope it ain't too big, since the frickin' default system memory is like 20 frickin' gigs. Like,
Well,
system
hey.
update. We're sorry, you're out of you're out of memory. And it's like, what?
Fucking.
Can you believe that, though? 20 gigs for the default system memory. That
I
is
can totally
unheard
believe
of.
it.
I mean, Sony did it.
With what?
They had it with the.
I remember the first PS3, I think it was 60 gigs, the default one. And that was forever ago. 60 gigs was a lot back then.
Which is the one that came out with 4 or 5 gig? Was it the Xbox or the PlayStation? I think it was the Xbox.
You might be.
Oh, you know what?
thinking,
There was a Xbox Lite. It was a discount
Yeah, that
system,
Mhm.
and it had only like a few gigs on it. I remember that one.
So Nintendo just schooled Microsoft then.
I guess so.
Sad.
Actually, this might be one of the cases where Nintendo copied a competitor. They're always saying people are doing that to them.
Well, to be fair, it is true.
Yeah.
Everyone copies
absolutely.
Nintendo.
Feel-
Like Nintendo or Sony patented a
Yes.
recently. They patented a system that looks exactly like the Switch. Recently, it's like the cycle
Just-
continues.
That's just in the case the Switch, for reasons Sony can't comprehend, takes off. They have immediately something
Yeah.
to release the counter with.
I mean, I've got no problem with copying, but if you're going to copy,
Yeah,
do it
that's
well.
completely fine.
Yeah, just do it good.
I mean,
Maybe
like
improve.
there's that saying. I'd say it, but my brain's dead. So, imitation is the best form of flattery.
Yeah, I won't be buying a Switch until maybe.
Yeah, if I get one, it'll be holiday this year, when Mario comes out.
I'm waiting.
Then
till
there'll be at
probably
least a few games.
near the end of its lifespan, because I figure it takes years for all the
So
stuff
next
that I
year.
like to come out. I'm not big on Nintendo.
Yeah, you're not a
IPs.
Zelda. You're
No.
not. Yeah.
I've tried. I just can't seem to. I don't know. I don't seem to enjoy them or something.
We'll just have to wait and see. I mean, Zelda's not out yet, and
No, I won't be touching.
Yeah, I'm
Zelda.
really curious what the review is gonna say about this game.
yeah, it could be either one of the newest, greatest, evolvements of the Zelda series, or it could be one of those really misleading,
Yeah, they tried and they failed.
or like the world isn't large as nearly as they said. Beat it under 15 hours, kind of a
Or
thing.
the world is large and it's just an empty, barren wasteland of nothing.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm expecting.
That's worse than a freaking. That's worse than it's too small, in my opinion.
Like, this is the kind of game you need a stupid bird to fly around in.
Have you freaking? Did you guys hear about the season pass they're doing
For Zelda.
for
For
Zelda?
Zelda?
Yeah.
What the hell?
I heard that they were doing it, but I didn't hear what it was.
Okay, here's the detail. I don't have like the exact details,
I'm
but
stunned.
there's a $20 season pass. Listen to this. It adds a few new chests in game. One of the chests has a shirt for Link that has the Switch logo on it.
That's so worth it, bro.
Can
Gotta
you
buy.
even fathom that? Like a Switch logo shirt? Why would you want that?
I need it in my
It
life.
kind of reminds me of like PlayStation Home, when they were trying to sell T-shirts for your avatars, and they were ridiculously priced, like $9.
Oh, people
for a
bought
shirt.
it.
Yeah. Well, but that's like the instant stuff for the season pass. Later in the year, like I think they said like the end of the year, there'll be like a additional story content or some stuff like that too.
Well, it sounds like nobody needs to buy it until the end of the year.
Yeah,
Way
that's
to
what
go,
I'm saying.
Nintendo.
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting till the end of the year to get a Switch, if I even do, because it's like not only will it be everything will be out for, there'll be more games, and they'll probably be discounted or bundles, like buy a Switch with Zelda.
I don't know. I hope they don't go exclusively with just making sure you download all your content, because their network service is not very good.
Well, their internet's going to be paid service now. You know that, right?
I've heard that, which I don't understand why you would pay for it. Anyone that's used it would probably be curious, like, why would I pay for it? Especially,
And their reasoning. I mean, you got Xbox and Sony. They do free games every month.
Yep.
And you get to keep the games even if you download them on your hard drive. My brother has like tons and tons of games from PS Plus. And Nintendo's like, it's free for a month. A game comes out and then after the month you have to buy it. So everyone's
Nintendo's
like, well,
defense,
that's already a step back.
It's like a rent.
in
Yeah,
Nintendo's
yeah.
defense, though, the Switch holds probably only one game.
I know,
So
right?
it's probably a good idea that you only get it for a month and then you remove it.
And then the expandable memory is like micro SD, and those only go to like what, 120? 120 gigs, something like that.
Well, unless you want to pay more than what the Switch costs
I've
itself.
seen them. They're at least
160?
500.
A micro SD for $500. I mean, yeah, 500 gigs for a micro SD.
I need to double check.
I think it might go up to like 250 or something. Like my brother bought like the biggest one he could find, and I think it was like 150 or 260 or something like that.
We'll see how the Switch does. I'm curious about if it's going to perform.
Well, I mean,
I don't know,
despite if the reception's good or not, it's already sold out with pre-orders, so they've already got that going for them.
Yeah, but that's everything.
Yeah.
Oh, unless you're engaged, then no. But
Yeah.
anything else. But I'm more curious on like let's see what people say hardware problem wise. I mean, the Switch is doing a lot hardware wise, and you might hear later on like the screen's got bad viewing angles, or maybe like the remotes have poor connectivity, or the battery dies too quickly in them and stuff. Just things.
Well, I can already tell you right now. Yes, the battery dies too quickly.
Yeah,
expect that.
It's like you got a portable that you can't portable anywhere if you're going to play Zelda.
Well, that projected battery life is ridiculous. 2 freaking hours.
That's promise. I mean, that's got to be peak.
Yeah.
That's peak minimum.
Like the longest they estimated was 5 hours. Like 2 to 5 hours.
Doing nothing.
So like a heavy and graphic intensive game would be like 2 hours. 5 would be like a retro game or something, I'm sure.
And anybody with a cell phone knows that your battery deteriorates in time,
Oh, yeah.
and you either have to replace it or send it off to be replaced. The Switch doesn't allow you to replace batteries, so after 1 year,
Yeah, that's another stupid thing.
if it's not getting proper, battery cycle, like you wearing down, being recharged 100%, and then being used, if most people are just leaving it plugged in all the time, then your expected gameplay life could end up being closer to 45 minutes, just because the battery life is gone now.
What did they open it up, and does it show if the battery is like
Nintendo
fixed to
themselves said it's
it's not.
gonna
You
be-
can't remove the battery.
Yeah.
at all?
No,
At
I'm
all.
sure you could. I'm sure you could get it
Well,
out with if you.
Anybody
tinkered.
savvy enough, could,
Yeah.
but you void your warranty. You void.
Yeah.
Nintendo does never ever want you to open up their systems
Well,
because
I
this is
mean-
an invitation to piracy.
To be fair, once the battery does die, your warranty will most likely not be there anyway. So
Well, we'll see.
Hopefully that's the case.
Samsung thought the same thing until all their phones started catching fire.
Well, Samsung thinks a lot until their bloody warehouse a week or two ago caught on fire as well. So
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
so funny.
So it's one of those deals like they're such a massive company, you wouldn't think that happened to them. You'd think, well, maybe a really cheap phone I never heard of this would happen to, but
My
just
friend,
kind of goes to show you mistakes can be made.
I got a friend who was a massive Samsung whore, and he's always talking shit about Apple, like non-stop links and all that, and all the exploding phones. He goes, "No, it's only a limited amount, this and that," and we keep giving him shit. And last week I was like, "Hey, did you order your phone from this place?" Exploded warehouse. He's like, "Okay, maybe there's an issue." It's like, "Don't worry about it. Just order your phone."
Well, I've owned 2 Samsungs. I've had no problem with them.
It's
Thankfully.
only a current line.
Yeah, it was the S6 that was doing it, or S7 tablet or something like that.
Yeah, it's one of them.
Thankfully. Yeah, I've had no problems with Samsung phones, but the batteries do deteriorate really fast for sure. Thankfully, they're replaceable, so I just bought replacements on Amazon.
Yeah. No, the old
I'm more
Samsung
curious-
phones are good.
Yeah. I'm just more curious, why is it a trend to not allow batteries to be
Yeah, I have
replaced?
no idea why that's a thing.
It's so
Like, I even got...
send
Okay.
your
Just so
phone.
they can charge you,
Yep.
yeah, for replacements and repairs.
I mean,
And now
As
we're
far
into
as-
this new age where it's like, hey, no headphone jacks. It's like, what?
I think it's more about just being wasteful, and let me explain it. Is like, if your battery dies, what's the normal life expectancy? Maybe a year or 2 years use max. Before you got serious consideration. Like, I need to replace this battery. Most people in that time wouldn't say, instead of sending it to the manufacturer to have the battery replaced and spend $80, I'll just buy a new phone. And isn't that what more or less the manufacturer
Yeah, I
would
guess
rather
that's,
want?
yeah, that's
So
true.
we're creating an amazing amount of e-waste because we got features that by design we can't fix ourselves.
I mean, you got people that buy a new phone every frickin' few months anyway.
Exactly.
I mean,
I know people at work.
I replaced a battery in my iPhone just a few months back. Like 2 years, the minute the 2 years passed, it died. I was like, whoa, you're accurate.
Yeah.
Which
And
is
that's been a thing too. Like when the warranty expires, I've been hearing tons of people have that happen to them. Right when the warranty expires, their phone craps out.
yeah. Well,
It's
I mean,
like
my
stealth updates.
my iPhone 4 from like 6 years back, it still has the original battery.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what was up with this one. So I had to get a third-party battery because I'm not gonna, you know, spend a couple hundred for bloody Apple to give me theirs.
Yeah.
Not doing it. Hasn't exploded yet, so it's good. You gotta be worried sometimes.
Yeah. Like, even as we know, like this phone I have, this LG, as a phone wise, it does fine, but its battery is a bit weak. I'm like, how hard would it be to replace the battery? You gotta do all kinds of stuff. You gotta get a special tool to take the cover off. Then you gotta move like the motherboard, the circuitry, all these different connectors just to get the battery. And then you gotta use a hair dryer to warm the battery because it's adhesive. Then you gotta remove it that way. I'm like, man. And then I think back on like my Samsung Galaxy, what's this, Edge? Like it is old. 5 years, like all I did is take the cover off, take out the battery, put a new battery in, pop the cover back on. Easy. It was so easy. Why is it so hard? Why is it so locked? But I don't know. It's at this point of age where if a person breaks their screen, like the screen still works, but the glass is broken, it might cost you know, $80 to fix. It's like I'll just get a new phone.
Yeah.
Instead of go through that because they can't live, you know, the 5 days without their phone.
Yep.
So
well,
maybe,
it is pretty dodgy.
Yeah.
Especially if,
like
it's
if it's
you know, business and stuff.
Well, I understand, but people in the 90s did okay somehow.
Yeah, we didn't actually want phones, but
Yeah. They didn't have to have 1,000 hours on Twitter.
yeah,
I'm taking my poop now.
My-
Tweet.
my
poop
generation
and toilet.
did not need it.
Ugh.
I didn't get a phone until like the mid 2000s because I needed it for specific reasons. Like, oh my god, I hate this thing. Even today, I don't even use it for phone calls. I just use it for gaming. So
Yeah.
that's me. Whereas today, you got kids taking it into classes. What is
Yeah,
that
that's
about?
ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Ugh.
Phones should not be allowed in class. That's for
Yep.
dang sure.
It's bullshit.
Well, I can't say anything. I spend any day in public and I'll see a 7-year-old with an $800 phone in his hands.
Yeah.
And I'm like, your parents put you on their plan so you can have that? They seriously think you need that? All right.
It's
Who
the
am I
new
to
generation of parents.
Yes.
Give
It's
them
like I want my
shiny.
kids to have what I don't have. Like all you're doing is raising them to believe that they can just achieve or get whatever they want without
Yeah.
working for it. Fine.
Growing up, they'll give them like iPads and stuff just to keep them out of their hair, sort
Yeah.
of thing. There's no parenting going on there. That's
Yep.
what they were
Let
taught
this
them.
distract you, you know.
Yeah, it's
I don't want to
distraction.
play with you. Play Angry Birds.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then there's discipline. It's been a while now where you can't, you know, like for example, you can't hit your kid if they're being stupid, which makes them play up even more. I mean, when I was younger, I had that slight fear of being backhanded, you know, by my dad if I did
I mean,
something.
same here. Yeah.
Yeah. But now if you do it, you get in trouble for it. Like, you know, if you see them in the shops, like, oh my god, she just slapped her kid on
Yeah.
the leg. Oh, she's
Yeah.
the worst parent in the world. It's like, what? You suck, lady. Kill yourself.
Have you
Mom
guys-
needs to go to prison.
There's this
for
video
mental.
of this kid like at a grocery store. He's got like this mini kid cart, I guess, for like their grocery store supplies them for kids or whatever.
Yeah.
They're waiting in line at the registry. This guy is in line. The kid behind him with the shopping cart. The kid just starts slamming the cart into the guy's shin over and over and over.
Oh, I
again.
saw that. Yeah, yeah.
So the guy grabs a milk carton out of the kid's cart, and unscrews the lid, just dumps it on the kid's head. Because the mom's just standing there. She's not doing anything. She's
I
not
lost it.
telling him to stop. She's not disciplining them all. And then once he dumps the freaking milk on his head, the mom's like, "Oh!" She grabs the kid, like, "Why? What have you done to my son?"
Yep. It's like, lady, I'm going to do that to you now. Followed by an uppercut. Yep, and he's the monster of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, for every time that video is viewed, there's somebody leaving a comment about that man shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
He should have politely asked the mother, to the mom should have stepped up to begin with. It's called being a mother.
Yep.
First off, you don't need to have somebody approach you and go, "I'm sorry, could you be a parent today?" That should never occur.
No. I just hate
And that's
that.
actually, that's honestly one of the reasons why I like going to Yahoo News
Mm.
on my breaks, is because I don't read it for the news. I read it for the comments, because it doesn't matter how bad or how just mild the story is. It's extremes on the comments there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And it would be, I seen one thing, like a firefighter rescues a dog from a frozen lake. And it's like, oh, that's sweet. And I go right to the comments. I go, I bet if that firefighter was a liberal, he would have let the dog drown. It's just like, what? Just out of nowhere. I bet the dog was a Hillary supporter. Deserved to die. Just like, wow. It's just anything. I'm just sitting there at my desk, and I got my trainee next to me. He can't see my screen. I go, just at random. He's like, what? Nothing. Just reading how terrible people are.
I love the stuff that comes out of people's mouths. It's glorious.
I know. It's like, I use it example of why I don't have faith in humanity, but at the same time, I can't help. It's like watching a train wreck. I gotta read this stuff. I gotta know how far it's gonna go.
It goes the whole way. That's why I avoid humanity at every step.
One was like a woman's 3-year-old. She stepped out to get the mail or something, but she didn't latch the door behind her. She thought she did. Her 3-year-old opens the door and just kind of walks off. And thankfully, the neighbor saw it, and they didn't recognize the boy, so they called the cops, and they found out it was the mothers. And that was just a story, more of a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
Like,
It
hey,
happens.
just pay attention.
Yeah.
It happens. And then I'm like, that's cool. I'm glad it ended. Comment time. And then you'd be like, that mother's a piece of crap. She needs to go to jail. And the guy needs to go to like someone who really cares for him. I'm like, oh my gosh, you don't even know this story.
Love it.
Like, if that was my kid, I would have whipped his hands up and down. Like, he's old. He doesn't know.
3-year-old string up to a tree.
He's just looking for mom.
Man, Yahoo supplies some great content. Like the Yahoo questions page, like Ask on Yahoo. Those
I
things.
love that.
If you guys watched that one, what was it? The pregnant one. No, yeah. Something about how do you get a girl pregnant or something? Or can a girl get pregnant with blank? It is so freaking funny.
I've seen some of those.
I'll link the video. It's freaking hilarious.
I love that most of those, I've got this problem, like a health thing. 9 out of 10, someone always has to say it's cancer. Like, oh,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, that's a given. You just go there if you want to have someone else tell you it's cancer.
You can have the smallest thing, a light rash, you're dying.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I gotta go to the
Why does
doctor!
my ear hurt? Brain cancer.
Brain cancer. Yesterday I sent a text to somebody the other day. I don't know if it was Jed or someone else, but I was replying to something, but the second half of my sentence completely broke. Oh, fuck.
I remember that when I said, fix your brain.
Yeah, it was you.
I can't, what are you saying? Because it would be like, I don't know what's wrong with the computer. Maybe it's website baloney ham. What? Fix your brain.
Because I saw your message, and I'm like, what's he on about? I don't understand. Look up. Oh, what? What's happening there?
My problem is, I'll make the sentence, I'll make the typo, I'll read over the typo, like I did it properly, several times, submit, read it the next day. Ah, crap, that didn't make any sense at all.
Tonight I'll be watching Doctor Strange.
I like that.
The movie?
That was a good movie.
Of course, the movie.
I didn't know if there was a series also. Apparently there's Flash, Arrow, Supergirl. I'm familiar with those, but I never watched them, so I didn't know if a Strange TV series was coming out. But
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie. I'm waiting for it to come out on disc, and I'll rent
Yeah.
it.
Well, it's out on Blu-ray this week, I think.
Oh, no good.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the only reason I'm watching it because friend just got it. So
Oh,
I'll be watching that, and if there's time after that, I might watch Wolf Cop.
Wolf Cop?
Wolf Cop. Watch a trailer sometime. Looks funny. So I'm gonna enjoy that. Just came out last year, or this year, last year.
Well, let's see. Watch Doctor Strange then this month, and then maybe watch Rogue One next month.
Is it out next month?
I think that's when it's coming out.
Guess I'll be watching it then as well. Cause I
haven't
seen
seen.
it.
Austin, did you see it?
Yeah, heck yeah.
He was there.
I think I remember you did.
Jedi
a couple
robe
times.
and everything.
Yeah.
Making lightsaber sounds, but wasn't holding a lightsaber. Just going around making sound.
Yeah.
It's like the minute he walks into the cinema, SD mode. This little guy, small, little arms, just waving imaginary things.
Just doing his best Vader impression walking around.
He's standing behind people, just making that noise and looking at them, waiting for them to turn around. When they do, looks away. You're a menace, Austin. What are
was
you
that
doing?
a movie I went? No, that was. Remind me of like when I went to Split. There was a lady sitting next to me filing her freaking fingernails.
What the hell?
So loud.
Like
I
inside?
wanted to tell her to shut up, but her husband was with her, and they're like old couple, and I knew if I said something, he'd probably try to start something.
Yeah.
Like during the whole the last 2 hours of the last hour or so of the movie, she was just filing away at her nails.
She was that bored.
It's like, really?
She did not
Really?
enjoy that film. I guarantee you she wouldn't be filing if she was watching 50 Shades of Snore.
It's 50 Shades more now, or darker. 50 Shades of darker. Something.
50 Shades.
Did that come out? The sequel?
Yeah,
'Cause I keep
Rotten
hearing
Tomatoes is
about
giving it like 6%.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, let me look it up again.
Lego Batman.
I like
beat
going
it,
on there
think.
occasionally just to see what's coming.
Mm.
But the Batman movie, the Lego one's doing well.
Oh, yeah,
Let's see,
everybody's freaking
91%.
freaking out about how good that is. Like I don't remember who said it. I saw someone say, "This is the best interpretation of Batman on film," and I'm like, "What?" And then someone was like, "Yeah, that's true." Like someone even agreed with him. I can't even remember. I think it was like a podcast I was listening to.
I see some people saying it's like awesome, and then there's other people saying it's okay. So I'm not sure who to listen to.
Well, I guess you gotta keep in mind it's a comedy, obviously.
Mm.
Batman's meant to look foolish, but
Well,
also
yeah.
kind of awesome
He's always.
Yeah.
in the movie. So it's however you want to take that.
I
There we
didn't
go,
really
let's see.
find the Lego movie awesome like everyone else said it was awesome.
I
I
liked
agree
it.
too.
I
was
liked it
alright.
a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't think it's amazing or anything, but I liked it.
Mm.
I liked the animation, how
animation's
well they
cool.
made it, how made it all look. It's
Yeah.
close to stop. I don't know if they really did stop animation.
No, it was CGI,
Yeah.
but they made
Yeah.
it look stop motion.
Yeah, it's
Like
all
it
CG.
looks really good. So I mean, I liked that, and but the story wise,
Yeah,
I don't know, it just didn't all fit with me. Didn't fit together. But
yeah, that's the only thing I didn't like. But I mean, it made me laugh a few times. So, hearing some of the voice actors that I know pop up, I was like, oh my god, it's Princess
Yeah.
Bubblegum. Just doing this stuff.
it's kind of like if you were to watch Toy Story, but then you realize that the entire adventure the toys had was actually just the imagination of one kid.
Yeah,
That's what the Lego movie was. Like, if this was either a dimension where Legos was real, and this was their story, that's fine. But then to find out, well, actually, none of that was happening. It was just a kid playing with his Legos. Like, all right. That's all right.
mm.
50 Shades Darker, 9%. Rings, 7%.
Rings? What?
Yeah, you know The Ring. This is that sequel to the
They did a
8th.
sequel to The
Yeah.
Ring?
They updated
Well-
it for today's people. I was interested,
Gosh.
but now I hear it's shit. But sadly, I'm gonna watch it anyway.
We know you will. You can't resist a bad horror movie.
Yeah, as shit as some are, I still watch them because it's just what I do.
And let's see what else we got here. The Great Wall, 36%.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking on the website here, and I guess they're taking user votes for the Razzie Awards.
Mm.
And I'm seeing
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of people voting in for Batman versus Superman.
It doesn't surprise me.
As bad as that movie was, it surely can't be as bad as the others here that are getting like 6%.
Yeah, no kidding.
It was pretty bad.
That's an agenda against the movie.
You haven't seen it yet, have you?
Oh, I saw Batman. I saw the extended edition.
Oh, that's right.
I saw it in theaters because that's when I took Catherine. And then I seen the extended edition, and everyone's like, well, the extended edition explains the scenes that didn't make sense better. So they all make sense. And I'm like, okay. So I watched the extended edition. What I got was 3 hours of scenes that don't make sense. They still don't make sense because they're just flattered and followed by other scenes that don't make sense.
They were
Why is
pointless
Alfred?
scenes.
Yeah, Alfred's cutting firewood. I got 2 minutes of him cutting firewood. Then I got to watch him bring it in. Then I got to watch him put it by the fire. He stokes the fire. He gets up, brushes off his arms, finds a note from Wayne. I went to Gotham. Oh, thank you. That was what well, I guess I don't have to make dinner tonight.
I remember that scene. It went forever. They kept talking.
did.
I'm waiting, and when it ended, I just held both my arms up at the screen, and my friend laughed. I had no idea what just happened.
It's like, why would you film that? What atmosphere? I was waiting for something to happen to Alfred, like a phone call, and it'd be like Lex.
So
like,
that's literally just a scene, huh?
That's
Yeah.
just the scene. And in the original movie, you just see Alfred walk up and pick up the note. Like, okay, so instead
Yeah.
of showing Batman in Gotham,
Yeah.
we have to see Alfred read that he's in Gotham, and then the next scene is literally Batman in Gotham standing on a rooftop. We could have figured it out, but now in the extended edition, we get to watch him cut the firewood, stoke the fire, search the house, find the note, and then Batman's in Gotham. It's just...
There were too many scenes like that. The entire movie was a scene like that. It's like the guy had ideas and then strung all these ideas together and said, call it a day. That's the movie.
Yes, exactly. And I think a lot of times they're trying to play really hard on strong imagery. Like when Bruce Wayne's a kid and he's being lifted up out of the well by the bats. And like, I'm looking at this, and like, I know the well scene. That was done in the previous Batman movies. And I see the bats, but now he's hovering and he's literally just being lifted up like an angel out of the well.
Was that like supposed to just be like him imagining it, or did
Nah,
the
that
bats
was
really
him.
lift him out?
No,
Yeah,
they
I-
don't actually. What they did is they just flew around him, like they did in the other Batman movies, and
Oh,
that's why he
okay.
was so scared. But then his body literally levitates, and
I thought-
he goes out of the well like an angel, if you would, and it's Batman describing his childhood. So it was just imagery with words. Batman going, and then the bats, they showed me the light, and then he's going out of the well, like,
But that's the weird part. When I saw that first, I was like, yeah, it's obviously artistic thing or memory
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
image, yeah.
But then later he comes up to them and he goes, there were bats and all. I'm like, how did you get out of the well with no help? So, like, okay, maybe they did levitate him out or something.
That's stupid.
it was
Oh,
just
my.
things like that, all the time.
I mean, you could say he climbed out, but then be like, his hands aren't all bloody and he hasn't fallen and broken his leg a few times. No, he's Batman, so it doesn't matter. He can do it.
He just hovers out there. Like, I guess Batman's got the ability of flight now,
Yeah.
so we can eliminate a lot of the things he really doesn't need.
My friend tried
Just-
to get me to say nice things about the Luthor in that film. Because he
Oh my
shits.
gosh.
He's
I
like,
have to agree.
It's not
In my opinion, that was one of the worst miscasts in that entire movie.
I mean, everyone said that like years before the movie when it was announced that he was playing him.
yeah.
Everyone said that's like the worst possible choice.
It was a
They
really
just
bad
stuck with it.
miscast. Yeah.
It's Snyder,
But
wasn't it?
he didn't remind me of a Lex Luthor. He just kind of reminded me of like a college kid that was trying to seem
Yeah.
crazy,
Yep.
but I just couldn't take him seriously because all I see is a child. He looks 19. His acting reflects that. He just didn't seem like he was
Well,
brilliant.
he is in a lot of movies, to be fair.
Yeah,
But
but
he always has the same. He's like the same character in every movie.
Exactly,
It's like typecast.
all he
He's
does
just
is
not
talk
Luthor.
stumbly, and he searches for his words, and then he's fidgeting a lot, and then that's his character. That's Lex Luthor. That's the guy that can take out Superman, who can't at the same time take
Just
out
the
Superman.
director kept going on about how amazing he is, and everyone's gonna freak out when they finally see him. It's like, oh, so good, so good. No.
That's called hype.
Yeah.
That's the director going. I probably didn't have a choice in the casting. The producers did, so I have to hype it though.
Yeah.
Please see my movie. It just reminds me of like when Shyamalan was doing Avatar, that uproar that everybody had about his casting choices.
Hmm.
You
It's
know
just
how
like-
that turned out.
Yeah, well,
Oh, for
it won a
Avatar.
Razzie too. Yeah, the Airbender one.
How did he screw that film so bad? I lasted 10 minutes, and then I couldn't do it
I don't
anymore.
know because he had literally all the work already done for him.
Yep.
I
Stupid.
know, right?
It's just,
So
but then again, you could say that for The Hobbit. Like, why was The Hobbit 3 movies?
yeah, no.
Well,
kidding.
I mean, to be fair, he didn't have time. He came in when most of the work was done and started changing things on the fly, so he couldn't do it. He screwed up.
Yes. At the same time, though, like, why do you got to have the romance between the elf and the
Yeah.
dwarf?
That was
It's
shit.
like that's not
yeah,
in the. How do you
that
mess
was,
that up?
ugh,
And then the Barrel River
So
scene,
much-
like
so
how'd you
much-
do that?
so
Why-
much fluff in that movie that did not need to be.
Oh, the
Barrel.
barrel scene.
Oh my god.
And I don't understand some of the physics, like in the finale, where.
Oh, don't even get me started. Where Legolas
All
runs.
right,
off
what was the
flipping
name of
bricks.
the white orc?
I don't remember.
He was the main
Yeah,
villain that whole
I
time. They were
forget his name.
anyway. So White Orc was fighting main dwarf king,
White
and he's under the water. He's in the frozen lake. Looks like he dies. I'm like, okay, I assume this lake is deep. And then all of a sudden he shoots out of the water. Like, did he find a jetpack
Yeah.
under the water or something? A rock to jump up out of? And it's like, aha, fooled you.
Mm.
Or Legolas jumping on those steps
Legolas
as they were
climbing
falling
those
down.
steps. Oh my
Yep.
god.
They're like the uncanny valley too at that point.
oh
like
yeah.
they
looked
didn't even
awful.
try hard to like
They went
make
for
it look
cool.
good. Oh,
They had to go for coolness, and that was.
I
about
had someone arguing with me that that's possible. Like, if it was like, if he was a real elf that weighed light, it could be possible. Like, he was dead set on arguing that with me. I'm
Oh,
like,
but you're
that just
talking-
goes against physics, dude. If his
No.
feet were pressing down on the bricks, they
don't
wouldn't
get
give
me.
him lift.
Yep.
They would push downwards. It's like it's basic physics, dude. No. See, and he tries
No.
to explain it to me, and I'm like, oh
Mhm.
my god.
Now I know in the books they do have similar abilities. Like you'll see in the first movie when they're up in the mountains of Lord of the Rings, everyone's trailing in the snow and he's just walking on top
he's
of it.
super light, yeah.
Right, like that's just an elven ability.
Yeah.
But the stair thing, yeah, I not even I could buy that.
Yeah.
And this, no, perhaps what he should have done was just shoot an arrow or something and grab it, like after it hits a wall, and then he can grab and climb up using arrows or something.
Mm.
But I just no,
Nah.
just no. It was hard. It was so hard.
Yeah. I didn't mind the first one, but the next two are just. I know.
But that's a perfect example. You have the work already done. There's a book literally right there. Oh, you guys won't believe this.
What?
I'm trying to install Rainbow Six Siege.
Uh huh.
I have to make a Uplay account.
Uh huh.
Guess whose username is already taken?
Well,
Ah.
obviously.
Ugh. Happened to crap with Battlefield too.
Did I get my username on Uplay? Let me check. Oh wow, I did. I got Killplix. I think I got Uplay when it like first came out, so I was.
That's what I'm gonna have to
luckier
do. Every new service that
Yeah.
comes out, I have to
You
just
need
make my
one
account.
ASAP.
Yep. Russia.
So, well, if I ever choose to play it 10 years later, I can
All right, Con, get the excitement flowing. Get ready for the outro. Make sure to say thanks for listening, guys, and thanks for the patrons, and then you name the patrons.
Exactly what he said.
We're not even recording. I mean, we are, but this isn't in the podcast. I hope. Because that's just a mess.
All right, Jed, start reading.
All right. Want to thank Con for reading the list and Austin for recording it so we don't lose it a second time.
Whatever. It's not my fault. Technically.
Technically.
Yes.
Maybe you mean figuratively, because I think it is your fault.
Nah. We did the names before, but it wasn't recording because my PC is broken because I need money to replace everything in it. So, this is what the patron money goes to. Me being able to record stuff. Some of it. Not all of it. The other half...
Porn.
Most of it goes to buying newspapers for Jed.
I have to go bathroom.
He gets cold in Hobo Land. He is saving up for a larger trolley though. So
Wednesdays is soup day.
give generously. Alrighty, here's the names for the people that bless us every month that haven't.
He didn't thanks for listening either. But
Thanks for listening.
Like watching a train wreck.
I don't do this normally. This is meant to be
But
Jed.
Here, I'll do it. Oh, just the thing. Hey guys, thanks for listening for the pod. Oh Lord, I'm tired. Hey guys, thanks for listening to the podcast. You know what? I'm not feeling it at all. Can't do it. I'm out.
We
I'm
love
checked
you
out.
all.
No, we're not keeping that part in.
What?
I'm like saying, no, I'm not feeling it. No.
Not feeling it. Some
Alright.
days.
I just can't do this anymore. Just you hear him get up, walk out.
Noise of a
Close the
table
door.
smashing.
I really
into
hope
something.
you edit this, because oh my gosh, this would be awful if you kept everything here.
I reckon we should keep it.
Oh gosh, because we're all about quality control.
Do we have a second?
What?
Second what?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
A second eye or something. So
I
keeping
have
it.
2 eyes, yes.
You know, it's like voting.
Jed, tell him to edit the thing, please. This is awful. We're not keeping this in the podcast.
He's wanting a vote.
Yes.
I thought he was wanting like a second eye. I went, you got
Look,
2 eyes.
Look, you can just
Why?
cut this. You
Morning
can just
sunshine.
cut this whole middle segment out.
I
and
don't
then
want to. That
use
gives
the
me.
ending.
I get
Just
more.
use it. Just use the intro. Hey guys, podcast, blah blah blah. Our stupid little bull crap a little bit. Recut at the end. Thanks for listening, guys. Appreciate it.
So
Here's
the-
our patrons of the month. We really appreciate these guys.
We'll have the uncut special bonus features in the Blu-ray.
Yeah,
Gag reel.
'cause people would love to listen to this bull crap.
I don't know. That sounds like that would be expensive.
It would be. That's why you're paying
I don't
for it.
think we. No, I don't want
We're putting it to a vote. Who votes that Jed
This
should
isn't
pay for
fair.
everything?
Yeah.
to. All right, so Connor, you gonna do the opening or?
I did the opening. The opening's done. We're done
Opening's
with the opening.
Done, son.
We're doing the
All right.
outro now.
This is the outro.
Do the outro then.
Which is like, hey guys, so thanks for listening to the podcast. And thank you once again to the patrons this month. Not once again, but thank you to the patrons of this month.
No,
we
you
really
can say
appreciate your...
Once again.
Oh, that's true. You could say once again.
We
Sure.
do it all the time. We thank him every day with our love.
You're talking as if this is going into the podcast, but it's not. We're talking...
We don't know that yet, do we?
you are. Okay, the ending... Oh, I'm so
I didn't
sorry.
hear anything about editing. I thought we were just doing it raw from now
Oh,
on.
this is not raw. Good lord, you need a condom at least.
We
I mean,
roar
you're
it.
talking about tuning in. We're broadcasting, bro.
Yeah, that whole tune-in part, that was good. Keep that part in. But after that whole hubbub of us trying to do the outro for like 20 freaking minutes of mumbling and nonsense. That should probably not be in it.
That stuff should totally be there. That's like the best part of the podcast.
Oh my gosh, people are like, these guys are idiots. Close his window.
But that's what we work for.
Yeah.
I don't want them taking me seriously.
Maybe you work for idiot.
Alright, here are the names of the people that love us. In return,
Thanks for listening.
we love them. Thanks for listening. Thank you for listening to our podcast once again. Every month we do. No, we don't, but we try. We strive for perfection, fall short every time. But with the love of these people, we try hard. We try very hard. Here's the love in name form. Matthew Keith, Colin and Maggie, Christopher Cernus, Brianna Bruel, it sounded exactly the same the second time, Christopher Mui, that one potato gamer, he's a potato, Simon Degnabolig, Samantha Lawley, Remick Zero, he's the original Remick, and Potato Sack Studios, doing the potato thing. Ole Marcus Norstrand, Rebecca Applegren Kane, Metal Matthias, Jackie Yellen, O. Richardson, Claude. There's no reason why I said that in a different tone. Zachary Morehouse, Chris Floyd, Connor Whelan, Sonahuk, Apokedak.
Here we go again.
If I was on webcam, you would have just seen my mouth open for about a minute. And slight activity going on.
I thought we lost them, actually.
My eyes were furiously staring. I hope I said that right. We love you.
So many letters, but not all make a sound.
Mark Johnston, Alexander Bueller Thomason, John DeWitt, Kevin Haynes. I'm sorry, I have a friend called Hayes. My brain went there. Kevin Haynes with an N. We love you. Acedia, Leroy Saber, Fulp Parker, Jesse Frank Singh, Brandis Justice, too many S's there, Brandon Justice, we love you. Jed loves you too. Cole Carey,
With all my heartbeat.
see? I don't say things that aren't true. Jane Sierva, Matthew Groves, Adrian Klug, going with Klug, Miguel Linney, and Snatchin' Games. A few others got declined. Check your credit cards.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything. Which is
thank you
broken.
very much to the patrons. Appreciate it a lot.
Well,
Definitely. We're sorry we don't get more podcasts out. It is something we're working on.
well, we don't get
Probably
to
not, but
meet
But it seems
up
like every
too
time we
often.
try, something of cons explodes.
You explode.